Well, now, we've been discussing the simplicity of what it is you're starting to be able to demonstrate. Just starting to hold the stick. There's some indicators that will help you know you're in the right direction technically. If you're playing by ear, that will guide you also. And you've been somewhat successful. Got you turning up real high. Got both hands turning. We had you playing some roll strokes. So now this is something that you've already demonstrated you can accomplish. It's that time you called me, and you know we hung out on FaceTime because you were successful at the lesson, and then you were successful over the phone. But it's interesting how quickly something can seem to evaporate. But it didn't, because Richard Wilson would say, after you feel it once, you'll feel it again. Which is somewhat comforting. Well, could be a little frustrating, but I felt it. But you have to believe that that's true. You know, otherwise you're existing in a world that doesn't have anything to do with logic, right? Seems. Not Schrodinger's cat, where you can't quite be sure. Is it
Yeah,
not alive? Go ahead.
um, I don't know. I think I go back and forth on the grip with my left hand, where to get the balance of not squeezing too tight, but just enough to, you know, hold it so it doesn't slip out of my hands, but enough to where you could slip it back and forth, like, you know, when we grab the stick, we slide it back and forth. And so I guess I don't quite, you know, like you said, once you feel it, I guess you'll know, but have quite felt that in my left hand. Maybe there's been moments, I don't know, I can't say for sure, but I'm still reaching for it, you know.
Well, join the club. We're always, Martinez, we're always, say, uh, oh yeah, we're always in a state of becoming, right? Perpetually, forever. You know, that's why people would study for 30 years with Dick Wilson, because the well was actually that deep. But to just get the general essence of this whole thing, and that's, I get it. The idea that, well, you felt it, but you didn't know you felt it, because you don't have enough of the pieces put together to understand why it was right. Right? So you can't get back to it immediately. And so that,
It's amazing how something so simple can be so elusive somewhere. But
that's true too. But as soon as you take the stick and you accomplish certain tasks, if it's actually happening, you're playing to the particular speed of a metronome. I mean, okay, maybe you're just relying on talent to get it out, and it's not quite this technique, but you're playing it. So let's be forgiving in the sense that as a true artist, one works on this stuff in this kind of way. And it can be frustrating, but it can be magical as well. Okay, so, oops, I did it again. Okay, back here. Handy dandy metronome. Okay, pardon me. So, And as we go along, because telling students certain things too soon doesn't help them at all. It just doesn't. They take that information and they, as Dick would say, don't make that the technique. It's a part of it. Let's just keep this really simple. Interestingly, for this, I don't need the metronome. This is that Chad Wackerman exercise. And so you're going to keep putting pieces together because you're an intelligent guy. And at a certain point, you'll be able to say, that doesn't quite look right as you watch yourself in the monitor or watch the video back. Or it's not sounding right. It doesn't feel right. Right? Yeah, that's true. So we have the sound, we have how it looks and how it feels. That's really all we're dealing with, but it's a lot. Right? Maybe in the study of other areas, there aren't all three that we would experience. Maybe get a bunch of letters, because math, you can be pretty passionate about math too. But that's not the feeling that I'm referring to. But there's feeling, right? So that has to do with visual, right? And there's no sound involved in math that I know of, although I probably get arguments about that too. Doesn't every planet ring at a certain pitch? Isn't there some kind of perfect A440 out there in the universe? Okay, so, but you've done this before, and this exercise is really cool. It's that Chad Wackerman exercise that really provides you the feeling of what it is that's happening. And the problem is what's happening is nothing. That's the hang-up. So you just have to trust in the teacher and in the process. And so what we do is we have this very simple grip, and we know that we need a narrow fulcrum. It's like a 3-finger area that is of primary importance. Right? Within those 3 fingers, you can make judgments too. After a while, you won't have to think about any of this stuff. It sounds like a kid could do this, but now we're talking about it as adults. Okay, but what we're doing is we need this grip for it to work, you know, in this way relative to this exercise, which I believe is, you know, Chad is teaching Spivak technique, and so we're going to just turn and let the stick rebound as many times as it will relative to the tautness of the surface. So you already know how to do this. Okay, no, I'll make this down for you. This, see? Now what have you done? Kind of a lot has happened. I can tell you about it, but kind of nothing has happened. It's give a kid a stick, say, hey, just do this. They'll do that. They probably won't go tap, 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 and use their fingers. They probably won't do some weird arm thing. Probably just take a stick. And she said, I just wanted to go tap, 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 fade away. They just turn and do that. Yeah, just turn your wrist and let it bounce. Now, here's where, you know, Dick Wilson was an intellectual, and he would say, I play by feel, you know, but he was able to teach it as well. And so, okay, so what's happening? It's pretty simple too. We have this particular grip, and the stick can rock over the middle finger. It's a little mysterious because the thumb and first finger are on there too. So it can rock through the thumb and first finger as well. Heck, we could even let it rock over the baby finger, but that's not what we do in this technique. We want this narrow fulcrum, and having all the fingers on the stick make the fulcrum wider. So it's this narrow kind of thing that's going on as it relates to proper grip to get this simple childlike thing to happen. So when we turn, if I focus on what part of the three-finger grip the stick is rocking over, just by thinking it, see, my rebounds became a little bit more open. It was a little more bouncy. And that's me thinking about, okay, I'm going to really focus. I've got these three fingers. I'm going to focus on it rocking over that middle finger. So just focus on that. Don't make a big deal out of it. Just put your mind's eye there. It got worse. Interesting, huh? There. That was better. Your fulcrum had changed, whether you know it or not. And that's all. That's it. And you work with it as you get older, probably forever. Analyzing, ensuring that there's knowledge of that fulcrum existing in the middle finger, perhaps, in this case. Try it again. Go ahead.
Then you let it bounce. Are you still keeping this grip while it's bouncing, or are you opening it up to let it bounce?
You do nothing.
What's that?
You do nothing. You have a three-finger grip. That's where, whether it's too tight or too loose, play by ear, play by sound, but yeah, you know you have a three-finger grip. So you don't have to, you don't release, you don't, at this point, the first finger and thumb are just firm, comfortable, and constant. That's it. All I'm asking you to do is move your mind's eye to focus on the middle finger of the three-finger grip. And it will affect, perhaps, how you sound. And it did. You got a really good bouncy bunch of notes. There, you see? That means the fulcrum was probably a little more narrow. Now, just for fun, we don't play this way, but just hold it with the first finger and thumb. That's going to be a built-in narrow fulcrum. Yeah, bounces. Do it again. Just aim for those. Take the other fingers. See how bouncy that is? We don't have enough meat in the game, so we put the middle finger on. So now we can actually, play. We can get through a rock gig. Sound pretty darn good. Not hurt ourselves and play plenty loud. But yeah, the middle finger. And now you focus on the stick rocking over the middle finger. That's kind of it. Do it.
You
don't have to, no, you don't have to do, you know how to do the first finger and thumb grip, you just held it there and did it and it worked. Now I'm just telling you to put your middle finger under the stick as well. Now you have all three. And you turn and you focus your mind's eye on the middle finger. Yeah, do it again. Just play with it. That's all it is. There. Just a little more middle finger. The fulcrum's moved back a little. Yeah, see, that's really good. Okay. That's it. Now, what else is happening? If I tell you, it might muck it up. But I will. Okay? But if that, see how, I think I ultimately made that very simple. I explained to you how narrow the fulcrum has to be to get this to happen. And to have enough of a grip to play contemporary music, or even, well, back in the day, they'd be slamming. So, but music has gotten louder with amplification, but it's just this three-finger grip. Back fingers kind of just hang out. Very normal. Now what you get by leaving the hand kind of alone is you get this feeling that the hand can open a little. But you wouldn't even know it. Maybe you wouldn't want to tell a kid that that's happening. See, you just got it. You don't even know about what I'm going to tell you, even though I've talked about it in the past. You're not connecting it right now. All you thought is, narrow fulcrum, turn my wrist, let it back, and it worked. And you don't know what happened.
No.
But to satisfy that part of what is the human need to know as much as they can. Well, why is that happening? I'll tell you about it, and hopefully it will just solidify what's happening. But you can't, just like as soon as I told you about the first finger and thumb, then new questions came up. So do I like squeeze and release with the first finger and thumb? That was when you were holding with all three. What do I do? And just hold it with the first finger and thumb. It bounces really easy. Put the third finger, middle finger on, three-finger grip. See if you can get it to bounce and think middle finger. That's it. No, I didn't say this. If I wanted you to be squeezing and releasing the first finger thumb, I tell you. Just like I'm going to tell you this. But you don't, see, this is doing something. This is doing something. There's none of that. We just hold the stick like a kid. And so what happens when you get this to work, right, this kind of thing? I've showed you this before. Look at my hand. What does it look? It looks like kind of like what your hand looked like. See the three fingers? Back fingers aren't even on the stick. Just hanging out. I'm not. I don't need them. I can get plenty of volume without them. If you really want extra volume and you know enough about how this works, you can add the fourth. Dick would talk about that, but for all intents and purposes, it's a little confusing, so just relax about that. Make a big deal. But what I'm showing you here is, see how that bounces?
Yeah.
And can you see where the butt end is relative to the palm? You felt this before too. Now we're just going to connect everything. So you'll be able to teach yourself more efficiently. Okay? Watch. Is the butt end on the palm?
No.
Is my wrist in the same position as it was when I was here?
I would say yes.
Does it look like this?
Yeah.
No, it doesn't look like that at all, does it?
Well, you turned up.
Yeah, look at the shape of this. It's bent forward a little bit, and if anything, it's flat. Well, this isn't flat at all. This has a real definite shape. This is like at a, 45-degree angle to my forearm. This is almost just past what would be a flat 90 what would that be? It's a direct extension of the forearm, right? You see that? Because you're on your phone.
Yeah, it's looks. I mean, you're level to me with your arm, but
Yeah, my arm is at the floor.
Yeah.
And I'm bent, and I'm slightly bent forward. If I was just going to play one note, the wrist would look like this. That three-finger grip. So if I want to get rebounds, I know I can. But if I don't want rebounds, I would just come down to here. See, now I'm not quite as bent. See, I'm not quite as bent. But if I want notes, I would get that. I'm a little more bent. You were doing this already. You already demonstrated this, by the way. So just go ahead and do that. Just play a bunch of rebounding notes and analyze what's happening. Just show. Yeah, see, you're bent forward a little bit. Well, leave it on the surface. I thought you were playing multiple notes. Leave it there. Yeah, see, you're bent forward. Is the butt end on the palm?
it is up there. Yeah. I'm not squeezing.
It's on your palm?
It's resting right here.
Well, it doesn't look like it. How do you get you can't, if it's resting on the palm, the stick won't rebound. It won't rebound. Because you don't have a narrow fulcrum. Is it on the palm? Leave it on the surface.
No.
Is it on the palm?
No.
Yeah, just like mine isn't on the palm. It's somewhat away. Watch. I'm getting to the surface. Now I'm up in the air to demonstrate it, but so I get to the surface, and I bend to there so that I have a fulcrum that the stick can bounce over, so it's not on the palm. Yeah, you do that. I've shown you this, and it's away from. Yeah, and then it's back on the palm, isn't it?
Right.
That's how you stop the stick from bouncing. That's it. You got it. You demonstrated it. Now just play multiple rebounds and leave it on the surface. Is it on the palm?
No,
Butt end? No, it was very good. And now lift it back up and feel it touch the palm when you lift it up. Feel it touch the palm?
yes.
Good. You did it. That's it. That's the Chad Wackerman thing. Turn. Remember, you're thinking middle finger with a 3-finger grip, and you know that the butt end won't be on the palm. Play by feel and ear. You did it. Do it again. Yeah. You did it.
One stroke.
You see how that'll give you the grip? No. No, I want you to get multiple rebounds. I'm about to take this a little further. There. Don't have to slam it, but that was fine. This is a regular, nice, cool, mellow wrister. There, see? Now, let's talk about this. I don't know whether I'm too tight, I'm too loose, I don't know, and I'm really having a... That's the grip. The fact that you can do that, that's it. Now, Richard Wilson being, what, an IQ of 176 or something, he just went, oh, yeah. I know I want to play rebounds, so I have to be able to do that. So to do that, it means that I can't be too tight here, or none of that'll work. I can't hold my fingers tight because then it won't open up a little bit, so that the butt end isn't on the palm. That's it. He said, oh yeah, that's how people should play the instrument. So that's your grip. It's kind of mellow, right? It's not too tight up front. Vinny would say, he told me, said he really said, this didn't work for me, but I remembered it. If I pinch with the first finger and thumb, my back fingers are you with me here?
Yeah.
I'm giving you a Vinnyism. I know we're just talking about Vinny, so it's connected. If I pinch with my first finger and thumb, my back fingers become constipated. Do that, just for fun. Let's analyze Vinny's thinking. Let's get into Vinny's mind. Don't get lost in there. Okay. So pinch with the first finger and thumb. See how this gets real tight, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Whole hand kind of feels tight, huh? Then he'd say, now put your stick in this position. He'd say, and if I let go too much with my first finger and thumb, the stick becomes too head heavy. Feel it? Feel how head heavy that is? If you let go. That's all he needed. That's all that brilliant mind needed. So this shows you that all that's in place. You're not squeezing the heck out of the first finger and thumb. You couldn't, or the stick wouldn't do anything. It would just stay there. Yeah, see? That gives you the feeling of a hand that really opens because your middle finger allowed the stick a place to rock over. Yeah, that's your grip. That's a rebound. Now, Murray would say, what do you remember? So you're doing really good today. It's cool. We're completing the gestalt because this is why you called me that time, right? And you were successful twice that day. Well, this time I'm gonna hopefully lock it in. That's it. Probably your left hand, don't do it right now, is better than your right. Because your left hand, we've been training it. The right doesn't know what the hell it's doing either. It didn't know any of this. Now it does. What, cross lateral transference? Something like that? Okay, so. Do you remember when I told you when I asked Murray and Dick, so what is this technique really all about ultimately? Do you remember the answer?
What, I'm sorry, Kevin, go ahead and sing it.
Yeah, when I asked Murray Spivak and Richard Wilson what this technique is really all about, do you remember what I told you they said to me?
I don't remember. I'm sorry, I don't want to say nothing, but.
Well, it's okay. I mean, I'm kind of challenged, and it's a little bit sort of kind of a rhetorical question, because who can remember everything, right? But this is I want you to remember this more consistently because it's kind of cool, you'll be talking to that drummer friend of yours, plays in the church, right? And you'll be able to explain to him in a very cohesive, simple way, where he would say the technique is about controlling the rebound. Okay. You now have a rebound. You have a grip. That's not too much more, Steve. It's hard to believe. This can't be it. What are you talking about? I want to know how Buddy Rich plays. You know, it's very simple, right? Get rid of all that other stuff. Okay, so you have this now, and you've done this before. So this will be easy too. Where did you go?
Excuse me.
Okay. So you've done this before. We did this over the phone. So, you know, you can just kind of relax knowing this is in your body. This is that idea that once you feel it, after you feel it once, you'll feel it again. Okay. You got this. Looking great. It's turning. You can't see inside my hand. I already showed it to you. I'm a little bit open, right, so that the stick won't be on the palm. You already know this. So you got that. Now to control the rebound, here's how you control it. This is really simple too. You wouldn't even need to tell a kid. You just said to a kid, probably. Okay, now just give me 4 notes. They'd go. What am I doing?
You're pulling the stick up at the moment when you want it to stop, so you only have 4 notes.
Why? Why am I, what's happening?
Because if you don't, the rebound will continue.
And why will it stop?
Because you've pulled up the stick up into the palm, or, yeah.
So you have to time it. You control the rebound, and that's it. And a kid would do it best by feel, because you're always, how do these kids play? Right? First of all, they're really talented. They probably had someone in the family or connected to someone who knows what the heck they're talking about, who could guide them. Or maybe they just figured it out on their own. We don't know. But yeah, so I know that 1, 2, 3, 4. I lift it up on the just after the last note. You could think of it as another note. You could think of it as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I want it to come up onto the palm. I'm looking for that contact between the butt end and the palm, and it will stop my rebounds. That means that I don't have to do anything other than what? I'm being Socratic now. This lesson is a playing lesson, but it's also very conceptual. Filling your mind up with the stuff that you need, so that you stop saying, I don't know what to do. Yes, you do. You know perfectly better than most people around would know what to do. They'll tell you all kinds of stuff to do. Here, I'm telling you just hold the stick and don't do anything. So, via turning the stick up, I'm trying to track back to where I was taking you with my question. Right? But what does this give us? Let's see. The question will become apparent to me in a minute. Yeah, it did become apparent. So all I'm doing, see, I'm not doing anything. You know these techniques to talk about fingers? I'm not using any fingers. And when I turn back up, I'm not pulling with my fingers, because you could do that too. Squeeze, comes back up. Try it. Let it out multiple times and squeeze with your whole hand. Yeah, it pops up, doesn't it? That's absolutely, and so what is that? That's fingers. But what is this technique about? Other than controlling the rebound, what is this technique all about?
Yes, you're using your fingers. I don't.
The technique that you're studying, Richard Murray Spivak technique, is about fingers.
Well, it's your wrists and.
The whole thing is a wrist turn. Over and over, I told you. It's just a wrist turn. So if you go pulling with your fingers and the stick will come up, that's not how you get it to come up in this technique. Why would you do that? How do you get the stick to come up? If you're not going to use it? By turning your wrist. You see, it all connects. And that's it. It's just your wrist. And you control the rebound like that with a fulcrum, period. And you're demonstrating it. You just played 4 notes beautifully. Let's see if I can do it again. Let's see. This good. Oh, well, here. Should be able to do it here too, right? And so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, however many. See, I want it to be open right to the last note. And all I'm going to do is turn my wrist. The fingers will do what they want to do, but you're not pulling on the stick with them. All you're doing is turning up, and the butt end comes to the palm. You don't need the fingers. They'll just close anyway, but they're not doing anything. I don't think. Let's see. Yes, it comes to the palm with no fingers. But if you had the fingers going along for the ride, they'd close too. But they're not influencing the stick. Not really. I don't think. It's like they're moving with the stick, but as I said, you can do it without. So the fingers, it's about turning your wrist. 4. 4. Good. Dick would like when you dropped your stick. That's a good sign. Don't get the shank. Find the floor so you don't get the shank, and you got it. There's 4. 4. You have to lift it right back up. That's best yet. You have to lift it right back up, you'll get 5. There, give me 3. Lift. Again. Lift you. 2, give me 3. There, you're controlling the rebound. Pretty much right in the center, just don't do it squarely. You just turn your wrist.
Oh, sorry.
You're getting it.
Oops,
Here you're going to get the shank, I can tell. Can't you tell you're going to get the shank? There you go. Yeah. Now just remind yourself of what it feels like to play multiple rebounds. Just play multiple rebounds again.
Oh, sorry.
Don't do anything with your fingers or the stick will squirt out. There. See, it went straight up and down. It didn't go. See? You don't do anything. All I'm asking you to do is not do anything weird. Just do that and just decide when you're going to lift it up. And that's so many notes. Don't go pulling with your fingers. Just lay it open. Lift up. Give me 2. Oh, 2 even notes. The second note isn't choked. You're leaving your hand open and then you're turning it back up. Got 2 notes. Okay, there. That's kind of it. Yeah, you got it. See, that's what a wrist turn looks like. Yeah.
So I just have to make sure my wrist is straight so I don't go.
Yeah, right.
Do your fingers.
And a kid wouldn't, because a kid would think, I want to hear da 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 da. I don't want to hear da 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 across the drum. You know, he copy his brother who's already learned this stuff. You know, or something. His grandfather, you know, the great tribal drum master. Okay, so yeah. See, so can you do that in your other hand? That would be full on multiple rebounds. See? No, you have to leave it on. I'm still on the surface, and I've been doing this a long. I don't mind. I want to think about it. It didn't bounce back for a second. There, leave it there. Now you're gonna feel it come to the palm. Come away from the palm. You didn't leave it off the palm. So leave it there now. Then you decide when you're gonna lift it up, and you come right back down, and then you lift it up. This time, if I want 4, I have to time when I lift it up. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2. 2. 2. 2. So I know I have to, thinking about the middle finger was helpful, right? That was helpful. 3-finger grip, think about the middle finger. Thinking about the butt end is away from the palm when I get to the surface, right? So there's that. And then it's my job to keep that going. What did I say? Middle finger. Middle finger. It's got to be a wrist turn. I don't want to do anything extraordinary. I have to start to get doubles. And these throws, they feel like a regular, in a weird way. In an interesting way. See, these start to feel like squeeze, release, squeeze, release, squeeze, 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 release, release, release. See, you start to get this kind of very natural, simple, childlike thing. You're doing great. And we can turn that into doubles now.
Yeah, I think and I gotta work out, I think I sometimes still wanna try to control it with my fingers or something, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to pull.
Pull, right, and that's a,
Don't leave them out of the picture. Just focus on what I told you. See, if you're going to play multiple rebounds, then you have to wait at the surface, let it lay there. Because we're not really controlling we're not controlling the rebound. So you leave it there for a minute.
okay.
And just notice if it's away from the palm. When you decide, you'll feel it come back to the palm as you lift it up. There. That's how you would practice multiple rebounds. You don't barely leave it on the surface, lift it up, as though you're trying to control the rebound. Now, if I ask you to play 4, now you have to determine when you're going to bring it up. Could be 5. You could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and lift it up on. You could be thinking 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you lift it up on 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, sorry, I didn't control it yet.
Don't give me wrist. Don't give me fingers. You just turn. One turn. Yeah, and you lift it up.
Well,
What? No. What? Stop. Stop. What are you trying to do right now? Because you're in 2 different worlds. I told you if you want to let it multiple rebound, you have to leave it there for a little bit. But you lifted it up pretty soon, but it was kind of a multiple rebound. What were you doing? You have to decide there, or you're just going to confuse yourself. It's really important. This little bit of it here is kind of a big deal. Do it.
We're gonna do the 5.
You're going to do what? You're going to think, you're going to play 4 rebounds, but count 5 and lift it up on 5?
Oh, okay, that's what you're saying. All right.
Yeah. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Say it.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
No, you don't play the 5th. You lift it on the 5th.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4.
You did it. You lifted on 5. You didn't say 5, but you did. Now play. Now, if you're going to play 3, you'll say 4, but don't play the 4. You'll lift it on 4. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
No, 1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, now play 2, and think of lifting it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I think I squeezing it too hard too when I come up to.
Don't just turn your wrist. It'll come to the palm. We proved that today. So good, you noticed that. Good. Don't do it. 1, 2, 3. Say 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Don't rush the up. Just smooth.
1, 2, 3.
You got 4. Beautiful 4.
1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry. 1, 2, 3. Trying to control it.
Starting to happen though, where you can play other stuff now too.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh no, 1, 2, 3 is lift.
1, 2, 3, 4.
No, just come on, 2. Just play 1, 2. You'll lift pretty soon.
1, 2.
There.
1, 2.
Lift it right away. Don't go pulling with your fingers.
1, 2.
Okay.
1, 2.
You're gonna practice. That's it. I've just filled your head with, I don't know, what would be considered the primary aspects with regards to this technique and how to help a student such as yourself, who's like searching as we often do. But I think that these words will help you solidify what it is that's happening here. There's really not much. What else? Sure, we'll get into the throw next time, but it feels a lot like this.
Yeah, I think I
Feels like now that you have this, the throw is easy.
Yeah, I think once I teach myself not to try to, that just it's weird how, well, where do you get the feeling?
It's working right now. You're doing it perfectly. Sure, the fingers will close, but you're not doing it, and the stick will stop bouncing not because the fingers are closing, but because the stick is bumping up into the palm. But why would you stop your fingers from doing what the body naturally does? See how beautiful this technique is? We're getting to that place where we're accepting what it is the body actually does to play this instrument. And we will do no more. There's no need to do anything more. We don't need to enhance with cleverness. We want to get rid of anything that the body doesn't naturally do. And you just did it today. You did nothing today. Very good.